Hello everyone, this is Ziki here and I hope you are all doing very well. Now I'm out here, it's a beautiful day, we are now in summer, the weather is now so fine. Now let me just share with you some of the stories that we're making headlines and going viral on social media. The first story that we have is about the prisoners who were pardoned by the president, and we're also going to talk about CAF, about football. We're also going to talk about J. Israel and some other stories, Now, the first story that we have is Zimbabwe, pardoned more than 4,200 prisoners, which is about 1/5 of the total prisoners in Zimbabwe. Okay, now they were pardoned under the presidential amnesty, which occurred, and we saw a lot of people, excited. I mean, we all love freedom, right? But there's one thing, that caught the attention of people on social media, and this video went viral. It was talking about, the interview that was done, whereby they discovered that most of the people who were interviewed were elderly men who had, defiled young children. Okay, I'm trying to avoid to use the proper word of "ara." Okay, these old men had defiled minors and they were serving their jail term. Now they've been released. So many people come out to say, well, how is it going to look like, when it comes to the victims? How are the victims going to feel when they found that the man who did this to them is now walking free? Okay. But for the people who were released, those old people were released, they were very excited to be finally going home. Now, we also have other people saying, well, maybe it has got something to do with the politics. Maybe it has got something to do with the elections that are coming up. No one knows, but we all know that, every year there is presidential amnesty, but the motive behind, we don't know. All we know is, according to reports and according to the statement that was given by Zimbabwe Prison Services, they said, well, this was because of President Mnangagwa's kindness, okay, to have these people released. And also we know that we've seen in the news that Zimbabwean prisons are congested. Reports saying they're about 17,000, okay. So only, the Zimbabwean prisons can carry 17,000 prisoners. However, it is reported that they have more than 22,000. Okay, this is according to several reports. So they're saying, well, they are really congested. So maybe this presidential amnesty is to ease the congestion that is in the prisons, which again has been dismissed, saying, well, that is not the case. But let me know what you think about those people who defiled the children who have been released. We have seen courts saying that, well, these people who have been released, they need to be welcomed in the communities, they need to be welcomed in the society. Now, not every crime was pardoned, okay? Some of the people were pardoned on age. So about 1/10 of those pardoned were the people who are above 60 years old. Okay, I think those are some of the old people that we saw were saying we defiled young children, so we've been released. And then we have another percentage of those ones who are, who had, some minor crimes, but had already served about, some percentages again of their crimes. Those again are the people, 3/4 of their crimes, and those are the people again we saw being released. But we say we all make a mistake for some other people, for some other crimes, and when they come back into the society is going to welcome them as long as they are changed people, because the purpose of prison is not actually to imprison people, but is to rehabilitate and to reform. Okay, now moving forward to another story. We saw the viral photos of J. Israel with Pastor Okafor and President Mnangagwa. Again, people are like, what is going on, but we already know what is going on there. J. Israel himself came out during a press conference before this Nigerian pastor even came to Zimbabwe to say, well, we need to support President Mnangagwa. We need to pray for our country. He's doing wonders. Ever since I came back from South Africa, I have seen marvelous things that the president is doing in Zimbabwe. So we need to support him. So it didn't come as a surprise when people saw those photos of J. Israel with the President Mnangagwa. Okay. Now, again, another story that we have is the voters roll. Well, people are being encouraged to go and inspect the voters roll as the names have been put in different constituencies. So people are being called to go and check that their names are there, to make sure that they know their constituencies, they know where they're going to vote. Because, after the delimitation, some people were moved from one, there's a lot of movement that happened, a lot of changes that happened. So people need to go and check the voters roll to see if their names are still there, in the constituents that they registered in, or they need to find where their names are. Okay, also if there are any corrections or any, anything that needs to be changed. people are being urged again to go and check those. Now, I am taking you to sports. I know some of you, just like me, we love soccer in Africa. And, you know, one of the most anticipated around the world is the World Cup. Now, the next World Cup is going to be in 2026, and it's going to take place in Mexico, America, and in Canada. They're going to be co-hosting. Now, Africa is now making preparations. CAF has announced that Africa is going to be represented by 9 countries, okay? You know, in the before, there were 5 countries. Now, there are 9 countries. So, say, 9 countries, but how are they going to be, you know, the playoffs are going to be done? Well, unlike, you know, previously where teams had to go through 3 stages of play, you know, the first one where they had, you know, those lower ranking teams in Africa, they play together. The one who emerges there, those ones are now going to be grouped by the better playing teams in Africa, and, you know, and then their group stages. No, this one is different. They said there are going to be 9 groups. And in each group, there's going to be about 6 teams, you know, that make us the 54 countries in Africa, assuming all the countries are going to be involved in this, in this selection or this process. Okay, so there are going to be 9 groups of 6, and they're going to play. So any team that is going to emerge winner in all those 9 groups is going to be part of the 9 countries that are going to represent Africa. Okay. Now, when it comes to Zimbabwe, again, it's uncertain if Zimbabwe is going to be included or is going to be part of it, because remember, Zimbabwe is under suspension because of the interference. You know, they say there is third-party interference in football in Zimbabwe, political motivation, all this kind of stuff. So Zimbabwe is under suspension, but no one knows. Maybe by that time things would have changed or the ban would have been lifted. Okay, and so the teams are going to be grouped. The process is going to be happening sometime in July in Benin. I will keep you updated as soon as, you know, those groups, you know, that process starts. I'm going to keep you updated. So these are some of the stories that I had for you, my friends. But for those of you you know, who follow Ziki Media, I want to appreciate you so much, and I just want you to listen to an audio, okay, that I recorded. You know, I had to read out because it's about Africa Day, and I just wanted you guys to listen to this video. But if I fail to attach it here, I am going to attach it separately, and I want you guys to let me know what you think. My name is Ziki. Once again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your love, and please subscribe and stay so that you don't miss on this and more. And remember to continuously vote for Ziki Media for the Pride of Africa Asia Pacific Awards and Outstanding Achievement in Media. Okay, the awards are coming very soon, and the voting will also be closing very soon. Until then, take care. Okay.